Hey guys, it's Jessica from Pizza Books, and today I'm here with a video that's a little daunting to me. Again, just like last video. I am not letting long videos scare me, and I've been putting this video off because I know a lot of people do it, and I can't even completely do it because I'm so bad at this topic, which is completing series. I decided, I was chatting with Tori yesterday, and she came up with the idea of doing a video about all of her uncompleted series, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I have so many, it's actually embarrassing. Like, it is. It's a running joke on my channel that I cannot finish series. I get really excited about one, I read it, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, but there's a million other things on my TBR. Like, I can already recommend that series, that like if I read another one, I can't really recommend that series again, so I need to read something else to be able to recommend, and it's just like the thought process that goes through my mind when I think about series. Or I love it so much that I'm like, I need to save it. I need to save it, or I jump around. And so some of you might be annoyed because some of these series I've only read like book 2 and 4 and nothing else in the series, but I took notes. And we have 3 full pages of series, so buckle in, grab a snack. I have pulled a couple. I'm already like, did I forget some? So I went as far back as 2022. I have way more series in this that I haven't finished from prior to 2022, but like we would be here literally all day if I went through every single series I'm in the middle of. And now you might think I'm missing some because I've only included ones that I actually want to continue. So there are a couple series where I've abandoned them like 2 or 3 books in because I'm not going to read them more. So I didn't include them on this list, but I still have a crap ton of books. So we're just gonna get through it and why I'm still reading them. So I'm trying to find the first one. I know I put it over here. Okay. Some of these, if you've been around for a while, you'll remember like when I started them. Some of them are very recent series that I started. So one of the most recent ones, I actually got sent this copy from the author, and I'm really excited to get the second book. So it's got like a bunch of like art and stickers sticking out, is the Fallen series by Gabrielle Sands. I listened to the first one, and my issue with series is that I hear about a book in the series that's really good. I either jump to that specific book and then never read the rest, or I start with book 1 and I'm like, that was good, or I don't like it, and I'm like never encouraged to continue the series because like if I'm not in love with the first one, then I'm like nothing's super encouraging me to read the one that everybody loves, if that makes sense. However, with this series, I did really enjoy book 1. I gave it 4 stars, but I know When She Tempts is the one that everybody loves. They're Mafia romances. I would love to continue the series, but I've only read book 1. For most of the rest of the series, I did end up putting how many books I have left to read in the series. I didn't for this one. I don't know how many are in here, but I've only read the first book of the series, but this is so new, like as in last month I read the first book. I'm definitely gonna read more. Okay, then I have the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series, which is a cozy mystery series. I have read 2 of these, which is actually very exciting. I have these on Libby, so it's really whenever I'm in the mood for a Christmas mystery. I did read one of them last year and one of them this year, and we might just make it a tradition to read one a year. I don't know. They're fun, they're cute. If I'm looking for like a shorter audiobook to pop in, that's also what some of these series are. It's like, I know I can find them at my library, so whenever I have a free moment, I'll just like listen to one of the series and then like get back to it whenever. So this one, I've read 2 and they're cute. I do like them. The next one I really enjoy, and I'm only one behind, so I don't feel too bad, but that is the Boys of Chapel series by Abby Millsaps. This is another series that actually just started this year, and it's Why Choose, and so I've listened to the first, well, I read the first one, listened to the second one on Hoopla, and the third one I think doesn't come out on Hoopla until January, like mid-January maybe. I should actually check on that, but their Why Choose are really good, and I think there's only going to be 4 total, so I am looking good. 2 out of 3 right now. If I read that, I'm caught up. So, can't go wrong. Then I have this series, which I don't know why I read it this way, but I have the Wildcat Hockey series by Rebecca Genshak. I have read 1, 4, and 5. So the reasoning is because I jumped into the series at book 4, so I read books 4 and 5 and I loved them, and then went back to read book 1, and I never continued from there on, and I do want to. So maybe this is another series I should check out on audio. Audiobooks are just a really great way to help me get through series, especially if they're just like standalones that you don't have to reread. That's also a reason why I don't get through series, trying to reread previous books. Anyways, so this series is super cute. They're all hockey romances. I really enjoyed it. I just have to go back and read 3 and 4. 2 and 3? 2 and 3. Then I have the Evolution of Sin series by Gianna Darling, which is actually embarrassing that I haven't read this yet because I read the first one a very long time ago, and then I just reread the first one in hopes of continuing on in the trilogy. They're not even that long. All the books I think are less than 300 pages, and I'm just dragging my feet. I think it's because it's one of the few left of Gianna's backlist I haven't read, and I don't want to read everything she's written, so I haven't read this yet. It's a cheating trilogy too, which I love that angst, so I just need to go ahead and read this. I don't know why I haven't. I'm annoying. I know. I'm very annoying. I'm going to be very annoying this whole video because of what I haven't read. You guys are just going to be appalled. Speaking of, I might as well jump into the one that I think the most people are not like truly mad, but my friends, for a long time. I started this series 8 years ago. And it is one of the most beloved series in the romance community, and that's the Addicted Calloway Sisters series by Kristen Becker Ritchie. I started this 8 years ago. I have read 3 in the Addicted series and 2 in the Calloway series, so I was like officially halfway through. I remember my next book was Thrive. I had stopped when they weren't even picked up yet. Like, I was still reading the indie books. I just never continued because I love them so much, and for some reason I just want to savor books. And I never continued reading these. And I need 2025 to be the year. Maybe I'll make it a video series where I finally read so many series that I have been putting off reading. There are so many that are like, people are obsessed. It's their all-time favorites that I just drag my feet because some of them are emotionally traumatizing, which is another series that's on this list where I literally just finished book 2 yesterday and cried. And I don't like my emotions. So that's why I put them off. But anyways, the Addicted series, I'm not yet through. People hate me for it. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is. Then, I don't know actually if I got this book out. I did not. I have one over there, but it's the Dream Harbor series by Laurie Gilmore. This is just because of the new one came out. So also, I sometimes have a hard time keeping up with new releases, so I really want to read The Christmas Tree Farm. I just did not get to it in December, but I'm going to read it in January for sure. So this is a series that is like high on the list of being caught up, but she has 2 coming out in 2025, which is very exciting because I love this. Small town, super cozy. I discovered her last year. I love them. Then, oh, I did pull it. It's here. I did get it. It's here. It's fine. Then I do have the Secret Bookcase Mystery Series by Ellie Alexander. So this one is a series that she published this year, and she actually published the first 2 at the same time. So I did listen to both of them. They are on my Hoopla, but I just don't love this series as much as her other series, but I would like to continue. I looked, and I think there's 5 out already. So she published 5 of these in a year, or at least there's 4, and maybe the fifth one is coming out soon, but that's crazy. So I think I give this one 3.5 and the second one 3. I like the coziness of this series, which I will talk about because this is long, but this one is like pretty good. I think I can pop in the audio. It's like a 7-hour audiobook every time, so I will be finishing the series just because it's easy to finish, but I haven't finished it. And I'm not like super excited to. I just hope the rest of the series gets better because books 1 and 2 have been like, okay. Then I have the Haven Brothers series, which is by Claire Kingsley. I have 2 Claire Kingsleys on this list. So this series, I have read the first 3. I swore I was not going to look. I literally spent my entire lunch planning this video, and then I was like, I'm going to remember everything because it was like 20 minutes ago. Yes, okay, it is Claire Kingsley. She has a couple series. I actually did start the Miles Brothers series too, which I didn't include on this list, but Claire Kingsley, like everything she's written. So I have the Haven Brothers. I've only read 3 of them, I think, or I only have 3 left. I just wrote only 3. I don't remember what that means, but I've started this series and it's good. I think the last one, Rushing In, was one that I read that I didn't love. So I have been knocking these out on audio as well. They're small town. They're really cute. I do enjoy them, but I'm liking her new stuff better because they're romantic suspense. So it's up in the air if I'm going to finish this series, but I'm for sure going to go back and read her other series that I started because I'm loving that one. Royals of Kingwood Academy by Tessa Hale. This is my last Tessa Hale series. I think, again, I'm just like, I don't want to finish her entire backlist because I don't know when her new book is coming out. It's supposed to come out sometime in 2025. I think on Amazon it says July, so that's like a while away. I have this series left, and it is the like Elemental Why Choose series of hers. They're just really fun, quick romances as well. So I know I could knock it out in like a weekend, but I'm savoring it because I don't want to be done with her backlist, but I love them. And I've read this first one twice too with the intention of reading it again this year to finish, and I never did. So I need to get on that. But the next one is the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. I actually don't know. Okay, I did read this one. This one is the... Yeah, so this is the age gap. I think they kissed at like a bar, and now she is working close to him, and he's her brother's best friend. I have only not read book 1. So I was reading these when the audiobooks were coming out, and I would get the audio code. So I think I missed the first one, and so I only got to read 2, 3, and 4 on audio, and I never read book 1. But I really love them. I've given all of them 5 stars. They are so good. So I just have to go back and read book 1. And then I will be done with Elsie's complete backlist. But maybe again, I'm just like trying to savor all of the books that she's written because I don't want them to be over. Then I have the Magnolia Park series. Talk about emotions. Like, I am slowly finishing the series. I have read 3 now, which I feel very proud of. I'd only read 1 for the longest time, and then I read book 2 and I loved it, and because I was nervous because there were different like characters as the focus. And then I went to book 3, which is still BJ Magnolia, and so now I have to read 4 and 5. Am I ready for the emotions? No, but I need to finish the series, and they're long. Like, I am trying to make myself not scared of long books, so this is 700 pages. I know I'm gonna love it. Again, I'm just scared. I'm just a baby when it comes to my emotions, so I haven't read it yet. It is what it is. I have issues. Then I do have the Bake Shop Mystery Series by Ellie Alexander. My friend Samantha, I think, has read this entire series, which is insane because there are 20. I read the first one and I really, really enjoyed it. So I would love to continue on. I actually bought a lot on Pango for like $15 for the whole entire backlist, which I was like, thank you to whoever was giving these away. But I need to catch up. I need to read them, but I don't know when because I can't just like sit and read. That would be like a month of reading for me, reading the entire series. So maybe like 2 a month. I don't know, but I really love these. They're in a small town in Oregon and it's super cute. They love Shakespeare. She works at her mom's bakery and I enjoyed it. So definitely want to continue this series for sure. Then I do have the Make Game series by Kim Lorraine and Meg Ann. I really enjoyed this book on audio. So these are Why Choose, and she is like running from an abusive, no, this guy's like obsessed with her. I don't remember why she's running away from him, but she runs to like this bar and there's these 4 guys, 4? I think there's 4. It's been a while since I've read this one, but there are different narrators for each one because either, I don't remember if it's Kay Lorraine or Meg Ann, but they are an audiobook narrator and I don't remember which one at the moment. I'm gonna have to look back at that. But so like she knows audio, and so the audiobooks are amazing and I love this, and I'm intrigued because the guy that's obsessed with her like wants her back, so she's running from him and it's really good. So I would love to continue this series as well, but definitely on audio for sure. Then we have the Alchemy series by Elodie Hart. This one I am up in the air if I want to finish, but I'm definitely gonna read book 2 because I did not know it was 7 books long. That is crazy. I read book 1 and gave it 3 stars. It was like a sex club. She just like, I don't remember if it was her dad's best friend, I think. And I read it all on audio, like on a road trip, and I was like not that impressed. But people love book 2. So I want to read book 2 to see if I'll like it. I did get the audiobook during the audio sale, so I'm at least going to read book 2 of this series. I don't know though if I will continue with all 7. That's a lot for a series of the first book that I didn't love. But then the next one, I'm embarrassed because this author, I realized I haven't finished either one of her series, and that is Lauren Asher. These are long though, to be fair. This, oh no, I have finished, okay, sorry, she has 3 series. I finished her second series. What is that series called? Her other series. I've read the middle one, that's 3 books. So I have not finished the Lakefront Billionaire series. I have not read book 2, but to be fair, it's so long. I don't know how I'm expected to read these 600-page books. But again, I'm not letting long books scare me in 2025. So maybe I will pick this up. I should. I would love to. I really enjoyed the first one. It was really good. So I need to read the second one. I love the other series that I read by her. So need to finish this. So then I do, oh, I actually own these, but I don't know where I put them. Where are you? I don't know. Probably behind somewhere. The Kings of Italy series by Mila Finelli. I need to read these. I've read 3 of the 5, and they are, I think, all on Hoopla, and they are Mafia romances, and this is Joanna Shupe, who is a historical romance author. I love her, and I think I still have to get to the MM one, which I'm really excited about, so I would love to read these. She did actually have a new release recently, but Mafia, there's gonna be a lot of Mafia later on this list, definitely. Then I do have the Grumpy Devil series by Elizabeth O'Rourke, which looks like this. I think this is actually the one that I didn't enjoy. This is book 1. I read the book everybody loves, which is Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, or The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. I always say that title wrong. One of my favorite books of the year last year. Like, I love it. Super angsty. I went back and read book 1. I didn't like it, so I have not read the last 2. I did read her entire other series. I finally finished that, and those were all like 4 and 5-star reads. Her summer series that she recently published, love those, but like this series it's a struggle. I'm like, do I read those other 2 if I didn't love book 1? But I love, like, one of my favorite books of all time was the other one, so it's just like, what do I do? I don't know. I'll probably will read the other 2 because I just love Elizabeth O'Rourke so much, but yes. I might have messed up and you guys are all gonna be like, you're dumb. So I think I mixed up the Haven Brothers and the I did, okay. Some of you probably already corrected me in the comments. So, I mixed up the Bailey brothers and the Haven brothers. The previous series I talked about was the Bailey brothers. This is the Haven brothers. So sorry. That happened like a good 10 minutes ago, but we're gonna ignore that. If you already corrected me in the comments, I caught myself. So, this is the Haven Brothers series. The previous one I was talking about was Bailey Brothers. So I have read 4 of the 6 of the Bailey Brothers. The Haven Brothers, I've only read book 3. That's why I wrote down only 3. I only read book 3. So this one I love. This is romantic suspense. I read this one as an arc and I loved it. So I need to go back and read books 1 and 2. I actually think I got book 1 on audio. So definitely need to continue on the series. Love, 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 love this one. But I've only read book 3 because that's when I like jumped into the series. So I need to go back and read 1 and 2. Great, great romantic suspense. Then I do, let me grab it. I didn't realize I didn't talk about this. I need to read the Lioness series. So I read book 1 and I gave it 3.5 stars. This is Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone. I love Tristan and Isolde, the movie I love. And so I was like, oh nice, MMF, Tristan and Isolde, yes please. With a bodyguard, yeah. But it wasn't really MMF until the end, and even then all 3 of them aren't together. So it's really the head guy, I don't remember the names, I don't remember which one is Tristan, but it's the guy who's like the billionaire with his bodyguard. They have a romance, and that's a lot of the book. And then we have Isolde coming in to marry the rich guy, but the bodyguard meets her to bring her to him and falls for her. And he's like, oh my gosh, I feel so guilty. Like I'm falling for my lover's fiance. And the 3 of them aren't together yet. So I really want that like dynamic between them though. And there's only 2 books out. I did read the novella too. So I've technically read like 0.5 and 1 of the series, which I would love to finish. But I just like, I want it to be better. So we'll see. We'll see. I do want to read it. I do. This one was just like, okay. Then I do have the Saint View strip series, which is by Elle Thorpe. I am hesitant to continue this because I love Elle Thorpe. I read her Saint View prison series and it was so good. It was Why Choose. She typically writes Why Choose, but this one was MF. And I was disappointed when I was reading it. I was like, where's the Why Choose? I didn't know that it was MF. So this one, it was good though. I still gave it 4 stars, but I think they're all standalones with the couples. So I don't think that this couple gets the next book. So I was like, am I interested enough? I don't know to finish the series. So let me know if you have read this, if I should continue on with this series. Then I have a romantasy series, which there will be a common theme of me having not read or finished romantasy. It is the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole. I really love this first one. I'm only 2 behind. They are fantasy and I'm very slow to finish fantasy series, but the cliffhanger on this one was insane. So I did start it physically, finish it on audio because it was for a book club, and I really, really, really liked it. I like this world. So for sure going to continue this series. I just haven't. Okay, we're on page 2. I gotta speed this up. We have the Ashen series, which is the Road of Bones series. I am only 1 book behind on this one. I have read book 1. I read it with my sister and Tori when we did like a trip together, and it was good. So I would like to continue on. I don't know though how that's gonna go, if I'll love it enough to continue on after that, but pretty good. And then this one again is Everyone Yelling at Me, and I know, it's just, I just can't bring myself to finish it because it's my favorite author, and that's Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I read this book so long ago. Like I picked up Sarah J. Maas when only A Court of Mist and Fury was out. So that isn't how far she was in her writing career when I was reading her. I've gotten to meet her quite a few times. I went to the release of, I think it was Tower of Dawn or Empire of Storms came out. It was one of those, but I've met her multiple times. I've been reading her for forever, and I read Throne of Glass a while ago. Never continued, read Throne of Glass again at the beginning of 2024. Made my way to Crown of Midnight and then started book 3, and everybody told me I had to go read the novellas, so I stopped. I was like literally on a roll with reading these, and then I got like sidetracked and everyone was like, no, go read those. And I was like, oh, do I have to? So I never continued. It's my goal to continue in 2025, but I know. I'm horrible. Then we do have the Legacy of God series by Rena Kent. I have read God of Fury and I loved it. So I bought books 1 through 3 and The Pretty Sprayed Edges. Whoa, oh my gosh, I love that sound. On Amazon. And we're gonna read them. I might do a read along with my Patreon with these. I don't know. I've been told that I'll hate them, but I loved God of Fury, so we'll see. You never know. I might love these. Then a series that I did not know was even a series is Hold by Claire Kent. There's 4 of them. So this couple escaped. Like they're in a jail and like it's sci-fi and like a prison planet. Is there more? Like there was an HEA, so I'm assuming we're gonna follow different characters. Haven't continued this one. Same with the Alliance series by S.J. Tilley. I read book 1, and this is the sense where everyone was recommending a different book in the series, and I was like, no, I'm gonna start with book 1, and I gave it 3 stars. And I'm like, am I gonna actually love this book that everybody loves? I don't know. So I never continued on, but I think I got on audio, so I do want to read at least that one. But these are just unhinged Mafia romances. They're fun. Haven't finished. Another Mafia series is the Perfectly Imperfect series by Neva Altaj. There's 10! I think that's insane. I think I bought 4 of them though on audio, so during the big Audible sale they were all like $3, and I almost bought like the entire series, but I stopped myself. This was the first book I read in 2024. And never picked up the rest of the series, but I do have them on audio. Then I do have the Everseas series by LJ Andrews. I don't even think, is this book 1? I think so. I read it, oh yeah, because I loved that. I read it on my Kindle, and then I thought it was okay. Like, I expected so much more from this, so then I never continued. But everybody really loves this series, so I kind of do want to read book 2 to see what it's about, but we'll see. Then, this is going to be fixed, like, very soon, as in, like, this weekend soon. But, because I still have not finished it, it is the Windy City series by Liz Tom 40. I have not read Play Along yet. However, I'm filming a vlog this weekend, and I have this on audio, so I will be finishing it. I'm always really late to the party reading her books, just because everybody loves them, and I know I love them, and they're so good, so I just don't read them because I savor them until I really want to read them, or a vlog makes me read them. So love, love, love this series. I will be reading it. Then another series that I'm obsessed with, that I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me, that I haven't finished yet, is the Boys of Belrose series by Jamin Eve and Tate James. This was one of my favorite books of 2023. I loved this book. It's Why Choose, it's Rockstar. It's so good, and I vividly remember so many scenes from this book, and I still haven't finished. But again, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna love it so much that I need to savor it, and then I just don't read it. So there's 4 books in the series. I read the first one. I own all of them in paperback now. I just have not gotten to them yet. Then I have the Toxic Paradise series by Marie Muravilla. I don't know if I'll go finish this series, but it is book 1 in a Mafia series, and I think this was with the heroine who was like really good and cool, and I liked it. And like, she fell for this guy that she shouldn't have fallen for, but she's like head of a mafia, and I really liked that, but I haven't finished it. I don't know. We'll see if I go. It's book 1 of 3. So the next book is in the Fairfield U series, which is The Puck Secret by G.N. Wright. I loved this, gave it 5 stars, one of my favorite books of 2023, and then book 2 came out this year, and book 3 comes out any day now, so this is definitely a series I want to get to and complete because I loved this one. It is a hockey romance, and they hate each other, but they secretly talk through text and don't know it's each other and fall for each other. It is so good. I need to continue on in that series. Then I do have the Brotherhood series by Penelope Black, which was just a book that I decided to read because I had it on Hoopla, and it was Why Choose Mafia, and I was like, yeah, she goes to like live with her mom and her mom's new husband, and things happen. I can't spoil certain connections, but I really liked it. But I read this summer of 2023. So I never read the next 2 because I like vividly remember I was in California and I was like going on a run outside listening to this audiobook, and I really liked it. So I would love to continue on. There's only 3 books in it. I should, but I haven't yet. Then I do have this series. There's only 2 books in this series out, and I don't know if she's going to publish more, but the Devil of Dublin series. I was obsessed with this. This was one of my favorite books of like 2022. It's Mafia. It's amazing. And then she just published a new one in 2024, and she had not written anything since then. And so I just never got to it. I would love to. I loved this book. I love B.B. Easton. So definitely going to get to that one. And then another Why Choose series, I just start these all and never finish them, is the Beast of Briar series by Elizabeth Helen. I loved this one. It's Beauty and the Beast retelling. She falls for these 4 guys who are like princes of the different seasons, and they all turn into beasts because they're cursed, and she had like tried to save her dad who was trying to find her mom, you know, Beauty and the Beast, and she is trapped with them, and she makes a deal to help them figure out how to break their curse and falls for them. I have to reread this because it's been too long, but I definitely want to finish this series because it's so good. I love that series. Then I do have the Varsity Dad series by Lex Martin. I have read 1, 2, and 4. So I was reading them as they were coming out because I loved her small town series that she did a long time ago, and I was reading her back when I bought my house. I remember listening to one of her audiobooks while I was painting my house when, oh, what was it called? Audible Escape was a thing. Oh my god, that was so good, but like all the memories. So I've loved Lex Martin for a a while, and then she was doing these college football romances, which aren't normally my favorite. That's why I stopped after books 1 and 2, because I just don't love college romances. Then it was a sister's boyfriend romance, and they had a kid together, and she's still in love with him. So it was good. I liked it. So I need to read more of the series. Then I have the Jacksonville Race series by Emily Rath. This one is book 1, and it was giant, and I loved it. This is a Why Choose, where it's the heroine with 3 guys. They're 2 best friends, and then one of the best friends is on the hockey team, and the other love interest is a guy on the hockey team. And it's her relationship with the 3 of them, and then the 2 best friends fall in love too. So it was so good, like so good. The relationships were so well developed that I need to continue on. But again, I think that the next one's MF, and I just like want the Why Choose. So we'll see. That's why I haven't continued on yet, but I do love this series so much, so I need to continue. And then I have the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher, which I don't know if I'm going to finish because I read, okay, this says I've only read book 1, but I've read book 1 and I think I read book 3. And I was told book 3 was amazing and book 2 didn't sound good. I met the characters from book 1 that were supposed to get book 2 and I didn't like them, so I skipped to book 3 because that's everyone's favorites and I didn't love it. So I don't know, maybe I'll read book 4 then, but I wanted these because of the Cars lineup, but I only got book 1, so I have to see if I can get the other ones. So we'll see. I ended up getting rid of my indie copies of these, so I don't know. We will see about that. Then I do have the Stars and Shadows series by Holly Renee. I don't know if I want to continue this series. I read book 1 and gave it 3 stars, but everybody really likes this series and they love her new series, which I am caught up on. I've read books 1 and 2 and book 3 hasn't come out yet, but this series, I didn't love the first one, but I think if I reread it, I might like it better, and they're very short too, so like I could get through them very quickly. So this is a maybe, and if I finish them. Then I do have the Slip of the Tongue series by Jessica Hawkins. I have not yet read past book 1. I actually started the audio of book 2 and I didn't love it because it's different characters and it wasn't angsty. I think I even got like halfway through and didn't love it, but I want to read the rest because Slip of the Tongue was angsty. I loved it, and I think they're just all about different characters. I don't think I put this series on here because I read this before 2022, but I did pull it, and that's the Something in the Way series by Jessica Hawkins. I was obsessed with this first book and I never continued the series. It is so angsty. The ending is a crazy cliffhanger and I still don't know what happens to them. So for sure I need to continue this series because Jessica Hawkins writes the best angst and she has not written anything in years. Maybe that's why I haven't read it, because I'm like savoring her backlist, but again, another one that I need to get to and I'm mad that I haven't. Then I have the Sunt Mountain series by Kat Singleton. I almost said Kate. Kat Singleton. I love the Small Town Romance series. I actually will talk about both of them. So I have this one and then I also have her Black Tie Billionaire series. I think I've only read the first one of both of these series, but I love her and I love her books. I just never keep up with her new releases. So this is her Small Town, this is her Billionaire series. Really enjoy her writing. I think I got both series on the Audible sale actually, at least one book in each series. So I do plan on continuing on. I do really like these and need to read more. These are all gonna fall over any second. Then I do have the Camp Bexley series by KK Allen. This is a small town romance series that I loved. The second book I think is my favorite, and it was one of my favorite books of the year when I read it, but 3 and 4 I think are finally on Hoopla. So I was reading these on Hoopla when they got on there, and then I stopped when I ran out of audiobooks, but now they're there. So I've been told by KK Allen that book 4 is gonna be my favorite because I've met her at a bunch of signings. She's super sweet. So I would love to read book 4. It's super angsty is what I've heard. But book 2 was a second chance and it was really good. They take place at this camp that this family owns, so need to read that. Then I do have, we're almost at the end of the second page, so then we're almost 2/3 of the way through. I have the Windsor series by Katerina Mora. I didn't realize there's 6 books out in this series and I've only read 2. I love Katerina Mora's writing though, and I love how angsty some of her romances are, like Bittersweet Memories I love, and I really enjoyed The Wrong Bride. I just need to continue on in the series. I don't know why I haven't. I think if I had these on audio, I would definitely get through them faster, but they're all billionaire romances. Never finished. So sorry. Then I do have the Leighton You series by C.E. Ricky. This is an MM hockey romance series, and I did really enjoy this one. This one, they hate each other and they end up hooking up, and then I think this one was the one where when they hooked up, they won. So they were like, well, we gotta keep on doing this, right? Because they're superstitious. I have the next one, which is baseball, and then I think there's a third one. I don't remember what sport it is, but it's like yellow and green were the covers. So need to continue on with those. Then this is another one where I'm scared of emotions, so I have not continued the Boys Atonement series. You should be proud of me. I'm reading Keeping 13 right now. I technically am like 10% left of it, but I'm pretty much at the end, and I love this series so much, but I cry every time I read it, okay? I was like 11 p.m. on a Thursday, and I was crying in the dark in bed reading on my Kindle, and I don't like to cry, okay? I've heard that Saving and Redeeming 6 are like the most heartbreaking of all time, so like why do I want to read that? I will at some point, maybe sooner rather than later, but Boys Atonement, haven't finished yet either. Oh, I haven't finished Haunting Adeline. I don't remember what this series is called, and I did not include a lot of books where there's only 2 out, but I read the first one, and it was good, but I thought it'd be darker, and everyone was like, book 2 is darker, so I want to read it. And Teddy Hamilton narrates them, so I should read book 2. I should read book 2. Then I have the Nashville Neighborhood series by Nikki Sloan. I have read 1, 2, and 4. So I read 1 and 2 and I enjoyed them. The Doctor came out. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then the Frat Boy came out. So good. And then Good Girl came out and I haven't read that one. So this is just a series I need to catch up on because she has a new one coming out. I'm so excited for it. So I just got behind on this. I also have the Guild series by Tate James, which I read Honey Trap and it was like my personality. I loved it. It's a MFM romance and they're all assassins and it gets so good. Well, kind of. She's an assassin and then there's another assassin that's obsessed with her and then she gets kidnapped by her Mark who becomes obsessed with her. So they both love her. They were so good. And then I read book 2 and it was good and then I never continued on. Then I do have the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I read this one at the very end of 2023. I loved it. I was obsessed with it. And then I never continued on, which I don't remember if there was only 1 book out at the time, but now there's a lot and I need to catch up because it was so good. So good. Oh my gosh. Another fantasy romance series I just haven't gotten to yet. Then we do have one that I became obsessed with in like 2020, 2019. Oh man, it's been a long time since I read this series, but the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I am happy to report I'm only 5 books behind. I have read 17 books in this series. When I got to 17, I was completely caught up. I had caught up on every single Black Dagger Brotherhood book there was, which is so impressive for me. I had read a 17 book series. Then they didn't get that good. So the book is like in its prime, like 1 through 11, amazing, like life-changing vampire romances. And then they got to be okay. I'm super intrigued by Lassiter's book, I will say, so I do want to continue on. I want to read the last 5, but they just like didn't get as good, so I didn't get as excited. It is what it is. Then I do have the Deliver series by Pam Godwin. I've only read book 1, but I did actually really like it, and I remember this was narrated by Teddy Hamilton, and he did such a good job. So I would like to continue this. It's very, very dark though, so we'll see. We'll see if I do continue. Oh, because the next book's about the bad guy from book 1. Now I remember. I was like, why was I very hesitant? Because the guy that was horrible in book 1 is the romance of book 2. So, I don't know. Then I have the Plated Prisoner series. I have only read books 2 out of 6 because the romance was barely there and we were already 2 books in. And so I think I gave book 2 3 stars. I was intrigued enough by book 1 that I continued on in book 2. I'm a romance reader and this is supposed to be a romance series and I think that it took a while for the romance to get going. So I was too impatient, so I stopped. But I might pick these back up again. I might, I don't know. Then I have the Venom series by Shanora Williams. I loved this one. It is a mafia romance and he kidnaps her and murders her husband and it is so good, but I never continued on. And I have the other 2 sitting right there. They're all very short, but I just never read them. I think it's because that they were not in KU and I get to Kindle Unlimited books a lot faster even if I do own them. So I love this one though. So for sure want to continue on whenever I get the chance. Then I do have, they're all up there under a stack, but I have the Salacious Players Club series by Sarah Kate. I have read 3 out of the 6 and I would love to finish this series. It was so good. I remember so much when Praise came out and it was just like everybody was obsessed with it, talking about it. It was X's dad and he was like owning a sex club and like I vividly remember everyone was freaking out about it because she shows up wanting her like rent money back and the guy was like, just ask my dad for it, like don't ask me for it. So she goes and he thinks that she's her new secretary / like plaything and he's like, kneel for me. And she's like, this is weird, but okay. So it was so good. I need to read this. What a time of reading. Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck is this series name? I have the Sinner series by Michelle Hurd. I actually only read book 2 for a video because I think Tori recommended it and I didn't like it, but I know people love this series, so there are 5 of them. I would love to get back to it. I think I actually got one of them out from the Audible sale, so we'll put this on hold. This is a maybe that I will be finishing. Then I have one that I love. It's the Element series by Brittany C. Cherry. So this one I started with book 4 because everyone said I would love it. It became one of my favorite books of all time. Went back and read book 1, and then I know everybody loves book 3, so then I read book 3, so I just haven't read book 2. I would love to finish this series at some point. I love Brittany C. Cherry, but I just never went back and finished it. So the next one is going to be the Necessary Evil series by Onley James. This one is a really good psychopath serial killer romance where the head guy is like a doctor and he adopts all these people who have like murderous tendencies and like psychopath tendencies and harnesses it so that they only murder bad people. I read the first 2 and I loved them, so I would love to continue the series. We have a lot of Sophie Lark series that I never finished. So we have the Underworld series, which is like Ivan and Snow and their Mafia, and they are so good. I gave the first 2 5 stars and then I just never continued. But I would love to because I love this series because I do have another Sophie book later on here, but the next one I want to talk about is the Parallel series by Elizabeth O'Rourke. So this one is time traveling like soulmates, and it is so good, and I only read book 1. And I was obsessed with it when I read it, and I never continued, and then I know Elizabeth O'Rourke says books 3 and 4 are like her favorites that she's ever written, so for sure I need to finish this series. I'm just being annoying and haven't finished it yet. Then I do have the Boston Underworld series. I have read 4 of these. I remember loving this series so much, and they are so good. I think I gave them all at least 4 stars. I remember loving Crow. I think this was a 5-star read. So good. I just have 2 left, and I didn't know that. So for sure want to finish this series. I just like was super into Mafia like 4 years ago and then never picked these books back up, and I need to because I'm feeling the Mafia now. So we're just like in circles, I feel like, in your reading. So now I'm back to like dark that I really want to get to. Okay, I think I missed this, but I do have the Belladonna series by Adeline Grace. I have not read Wisteria yet. So I read books 1 and 2 recently and I did really like them. I just had to wait for the audiobook for book 3 to come in, and then it lapsed and then I never got it back. So would love to finish this series. Very gothic, very atmospheric. Really enjoyed it, and I'm very intrigued by this romance, so for sure want to finish this. Then I have the Lakes Hockey series by Sloane St. James. I've only read book 1, but I just got book 2 out on Audible, and the first one was really good. He's a hockey player, and it was very suspensey in the beginning, and I was loving it, and then that kind of petered out, but I still really am intrigued by this series, so I do want to finish. Then the last series that I have is one that I've been putting off, but I loved this first book. I gave it 5 stars, and that is the Kingmaker series. They are republishing them. I'm rebuying them in the republished versions because I remember also vividly when Sophie Lark like took the romance world by storm with her really great Mafia romances. I did read all of the Brutal Birthright series, and then I read this one, was obsessed, but they're long. So I never continued on because I was like, who has time for long books? This is over 500 pages. This is so good. I love this series. It's like Hogwarts for Mafia children, and it's like a lot of competition stuff. So good. So definitely need to finish this one. Those are all the series that I would love to finish that I haven't finished. And this isn't even close to all of them because I did not go back further than this. So we're not counting other series that I started beyond before like 2022 or that I haven't like touched in 3 years. So these are just all the series that I have read at least 1 book from in the past few years that I never continued, but I would love to. Let me know which ones I should start with. If you want a video series on these, I would love to hear. Definitely let me know that. If you've made it this far, leave me a cupcake emoji for the Ellie Alexander series where it's the Bake Shop Mystery series. Leave me a cupcake, and that's all I have. As always, thanks so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.